Hello, this is Yogeshwar 7000 again, and I'm back with another interesting topic in Vedic astrology today. And today we'll be continuing with our series on nakshatras. And as you all know, we did discuss about the Hasta Nakshatra in our earlier video, and we discussed everything related to that nakshatra. And Hasta Nakshatra was the 13th nakshatra, and today we'll be talking about the 14th nakshatra, which is Chitra Nakshatra. So as you all know, there are 27 nakshatras, and each nakshatra spans a distance of 13 degrees and 20 minutes. And nakshatra is nothing but a constellation of stars. So it spans a distance of 13 degrees and 20 minutes, and there are 27 nakshatras. So if you multiply 13 degrees and 20 minutes times 27, it comes to 360 degrees, which is the total area of the zodiac. Okay, so that's how the nakshatras are spread all over the zodiac. And today we'll be talking about the 14th nakshatra. Now, Chitra, which is called Chitra. So when we say we'll be talking about Chitra Nakshatra, it means that we will be talking about people who are born under Chitra Nakshatra. Okay, now when we say people who are born under Chitra Nakshatra, we mean that when the person was born, his moon was placed in Chitra Nakshatra as a generic term. Now, why do we say generic? Because, like I just mentioned, the nakshatras are spread over the entire zodiac. Okay, so there are planets, all 9 planets, which are situated in some nakshatra or the other. But we generally take into consideration the placement of moon when we say in generic terms that, okay, you're born in this nakshatra. Okay, why? Because as per Hindu mythology, we know that the 27 nakshatras are synonymous with the 27 wives of the moon. Okay, and we know that moon moves from one nakshatra to another nakshatra in approximately one day, and it moves from one zodiac sign to another zodiac sign in approximately 2¼ days. We know that moon is the fastest planet, and we also know that we consider moon as a planet in Vedic astrology. So moon keeps jumping from one nakshatra to another nakshatra, and that's how we take into consideration, or we say generally that, okay, if a person is born in this nakshatra, we take the placement of moon in that, because it is a lunar mansion. You know, it's where the planet moon stays in for approximately one day, like I just mentioned. Okay, and then based on the placement of moon, because moon is the mind, we try to determine the characteristics of that person if moon is placed in that nakshatra. Okay, so that's a very important thing. Now, having said that, that doesn't mean that we should not take into consideration other planets who are placed in a particular nakshatra, but the effects are going to be different than the effects what we are studying today, which is the placement of moon in a nakshatra. So today we'll be talking about people who are born in Chitra Nakshatra, and like I mentioned, that would mean that people whose moon was in Chitra Nakshatra at the time of their birth. Okay, that's the kind of people we'll be talking about. And in general also we'll be talking about what does the nakshatra signify in terms of, you know, what the symbols are, what the presiding deity of that nakshatra is, what planet rules over that nakshatra, because we've been discussing that. Okay, but generally, as when we discuss about people born in this nakshatra, it means that their natal moon was placed in this nakshatra at the time of their birth. So I hope I've made myself clear here. So general characteristics of people born in Chitra Nakshatra are very attractive people. They have lean, nice bodies, very attractive people, very sociable people, and extremely intelligent people, and they're natural leaders. Okay, so, you know, they're they're considered to be brilliant people in whatever field they are. That's very good. Now, what's the symbol? The symbol of Chitra Nakshatra, because every nakshatra has a symbol. Chitra Nakshatra symbol is a bright jewel. Okay, a bright jewel, or a pearl reflecting the spirit within us, or a shining light, something bright and shining which stands out, so that's the kind of people they are. They stand out in a crowd because that's the symbol. They're so attractive and they're so sociable and they're so intelligent that they do stand out. And as far as the animal symbol goes, the animal symbol of this nakshatra is the female tiger. So people born under this nakshatra have the characteristics you can kind of imagine of a female tiger. Now, what does a female tiger represent? As you know, that between the tiger and the tigresses, who goes out for the hunt? It's the female tiger, or the tigress goes out for the hunt. So she's the one who's going to be taking the lead. What is the other thing? That female tigers are very, very attached to their little cubs. So that speaks about the female element, so as to say, in Chitra Nakshatra. So that does not mean that only the females born in Chitra Nakshatra are going to be attached to their children. All people born in Chitra Nakshatra will be attached to their own children. Okay, they will have the aggressiveness of a female tiger. They will have the energy of a female tiger. They will have the power of the female tiger. Okay, they will have and the tiger is like a king of the jungles. We know that. So they will also have the generosity also within them, which goes with the tiger, the ego which goes with the tiger. All these characteristics you'll find in people who are born in Chitra Nakshatra. And like I said, people born in Chitra Nakshatra means peoples whose moon was placed in Chitra Nakshatra at the time of their birth. So we know the distance of Chitra Nakshatra. Chitra Nakshatra is 13 degrees and 20 minutes in like all the other nakshatras as far as the distance goes, but it spans a distance of 13 degrees and 20 minutes between 23 degrees and 20 minutes of Virgo through 6 degrees and 40 minutes of Libra. So basically this nakshatra falls within two rashis or two zodiac signs. And what are those zodiac signs? Virgo and Libra. So it stays in the zodiac sign of Virgo for 6 degrees and 40 minutes. And then the other 6 degrees and 40 minutes falls in the zodiac sign of Libra. And who are the rulers of Virgo when you take into consideration zodiac signs? The ruler of Virgo is Mercury, and the ruler of Libra is Venus. So you will see the impact or the influence of these two planets, which are Mercury and Venus, in the person who's born in Chitra Nakshatra. Okay, so like the last nakshatra, Hasta Nakshatra, we saw that Hasta Nakshatra was placed, or the distance of 13 degrees and 20 minutes of Hasta Nakshatra was within the zodiac sign of Virgo. But here, the 14th nakshatra, which is the Chitra Nakshatra, falls in two zodiac signs. The first half falls in Virgo and the second half falls in Libra. Okay, so the impact or the influence of the two planets of Mercury and Venus, both are going to be felt. Okay, so the impact is going to be felt more in the first two padas, because there are 4 divisions in a nakshatra which span a distance of 3 degrees and 20 minutes each. So the planet Mercury is going to influence people who are born in the first 2 padas of Chitra Nakshatra, because they fall under the Virgo zodiac sign. And the last two padas of 3 degrees and 20 minutes each, since it's ruled by the zodiac sign Libra, people born in Chitra Nakshatra and the last two padas will be influenced more by the planet Venus, because Venus rules over Libra, as we know. Okay, so I've made myself clear, I think. So what are the characteristics of people born in this nakshatra? Of course, we've discussed they are very attractive people, artistic people as well, and they can be great lovers, okay, because of that brilliance, that intelligence they have in them, and also because of the influence of the planet Venus. You know, to be a good lover, you have to be intelligent too. You have to understand your partner. You have to be able to deal with your partner's emotions in a very intelligent way. That's also an art in itself. So these people are very, very good as far as the art of lovemaking is concerned. Or not just lovemaking, but, you know, in general, they can be good lovers. In general terms, they are very independent people, just because of you saw the animal symbol, which gives them that independence and that leadership qualities of, you know, the leadership qualities which comes with the animal symbol tiger, who wants to be a leader, who wants to, you know, be the king, and also who wants to make an impact. So these people generally like to make an impact in life, very sociable, like we've discussed, and high-spirited because of their energy levels. Their energy levels are very high, but sometimes they can be a little controversial too, because as far as the negative qualities go, they can be too quick to challenge somebody's point of view. You know, they can be very critical at times of people. So, and what is the ruling planet of this nakshatra, by the way? The ruling planet of this nakshatra is the planet Mars, which gives them, you know, that quarrelsome nature sometimes. You know, they can get very quarrelsome and critical, like I just mentioned. You know, it can just challenge somebody without thinking sometimes as well. But generally, you know, the positive qualities are, you know, they stand out like a shining light in a crowd. Very well read, very well dressed, and very well groomed people. And the good thing is they have very good business skills. So people born in this nakshatra can be good business people as well. Very dignified and well read, and also sometimes they can be drawn to philosophy, and sometimes a little bit to religion as well, but more philosophical than religious. Okay, and generally these people do well when they go outside their place of birth. So in foreign countries, they do much better than they would as compared to, you know, staying in their home country. So they'll do much better if they go overseas. And sometimes they're drawn towards the art of sculpture, and being designers is concerned. You know, you can find some good designers because of their love for art, their understanding of art, you know, their elegance, their being well read, and you know, they're being trying to make an impact on society. So they can, you know, you can find some Chitra Nakshatra people as great artists as well. And like I said that the negative qualities come in as far as their being quarrelsome is concerned, thanks to the planet Mars. And you know, they also, although they become great lovers, sometimes the problem with them is they can attract mates or their partners who are quite negligent at times, you know, not as perfect as they are. So they seem to be very perfect in whatever they do. They dress well, they read well, you know, they can be drawn to arts, and they can, you know, be very intelligent, they stand out, they can be very attractive, but sometimes they can attract their partners who are not at par at the level of which they are, and as a result of which they can make mistakes in that area. Okay, and sometimes, you know, morality, the question of morality also comes up quite often you'll see in Chitra Nakshatra people, there'll be people who'll be pointing fingers as far as their morality is concerned. That's because of the high energy levels. They might do something which may not be proper or ethical at times as far as their moral character is concerned, but not always, of course. They can be slightly corrupt at times as well, and they can also spend more than what they earn at times. They don't care about saving money. So these are some little qualities, negative qualities, I would say, which comes up with the large amount of positive qualities which people have who are born in this nakshatra, this Chitra Nakshatra people. And you have to take it with a pinch of salt, of course, but generally speaking, these people stand out. But now, not always, these negative qualities are going to be felt. So just don't look at a birth chart and see, well, you're born in Chitra Nakshatra, so I think, there are morality questions, or, you may be corrupt. No, other factors have to be taken into consideration. But there could be a tendency, based on what has been described in the ancient scriptures. And by the way, my videos are always a reference to the ancient scriptures, not a figment of imagination of any modern day astrologer. As far as their career interest goes, since they're very artistic people and they want to make an impact on society, they can be great designers, they can be great architects, and they can be great jewelers. Why? Because that jewel, that symbol which comes with this nakshatra, or people born in this nakshatra, can make a great impact on their understanding of jewelry making, or even jewelers in terms of doing business, because they have business skills as well. They can also become great lawyers because of the impact of the planet Mars. Mars is generally associated with the area of law, so they can make great lawyers as well. And as far as designing is concerned, that comes from the planet Venus, because a part of this nakshatra falls in Libra, which is ruled by the planet Venus, as we all know. They can be very philosophical as well, sometimes a little religious, but mostly, philosophical, so they can become great philosophers. And then once their understanding of religion goes, they can become great scholars of the Vedas as well. That goes towards more religion, but like I said, less religious and more philosophical. They can also publish books. They're well read, so they can become writers as well, because of the impact of the planet Mercury, which comes in the first two paras of this nakshatra. And because Mars is the ruling planet in general of this nakshatra, it makes a very, very strong impact. And like I said, they can become great lawyers, but at the same time, any field which is associated with Mars, they can excel in that as well, like the army, the police, things like that. And then go to the Rashi impact, which is Mercury and Venus. So they can become writers when it comes to Mercury, and they become great artists and painters and photographers and designers and musicians when it comes to the planet Venus, because of the impact of the planet Venus. But generally, you'll see, the rulership of this nakshatra comes under the planet Mars. So whatever they do, they will do with a lot of intensity, and they'll stand out in the society, in the crowd. Okay, so this was a discussion on people born in Chitra Nakshatra, which is the 14th nakshatra, which spans a distance of 13 degrees and 20 minutes, starting from 23 degrees and 20 minutes of Virgo through 6 degrees and 40 minutes of Libra. Hopefully you enjoyed this, and in the meanwhile, I will recommend subscribe to my channel and check out my website. There is a link below, and I will see you with an interesting topic in Vedic astrology very soon.